Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe and be part of our family. And before we start with today's topic, please don't forget to like this video, share with others, do subscribe if you are new here, and follow me on Instagram for some extra motivation. You can see my Instagram handle on the screen, and do let me know if there is a topic you want me to cover, if you have any queries, and any feedback is always welcome. Without further ado, let's get started. So in this video, we're going to talk about slice function in Python. So name of the function is slice, and what is the use of this function? Well, this function is used to get subsequence. So slice function works with sequences in Python, and it's used to, as its name suggests, it's used to get subsequence. So basically, if you are using a list, you can select a sublist from the list. If you are using a tuple, you can select a subtuple. Now, what is a subtuple, sublist, or subsequence? It's a part of that sequence. So for example, if you have a list with elements ranging from 1 to 10, you can select a slice, let's say from 2 to 7. Okay, so like a small list from the given list. That's the use of slice function. It is like, you have, when we create slices of a bread, usually bread, there are two ways. Sometimes breads are already come in slices, or sometimes it's like a big cooked dough, and then you can slice it up, right? Not cooked, baked dough, and then you can slice it up. So that's how it is. You can pick the slice from a given sequence. Okay, and syntax to make it more clear, so let's say this is 1 2 3 4 5. This is a list. Okay, sublist could be 2 3 4. Sublist can also be 2 4, right? It can also be 1 3 5. So it's like you can pick a sublist or a subslice or a subsequence, sorry, a slice from the given sequence. And syntax for slice is, if you are using slice function, there are two ways of performing slicing in Python. So if you are using slice function, you can use slice keyword, and then we have start, stop, and step. These are also keywords. Start, stop, and step. These are also keywords. So this is how you can use a function, slice function. And if you are using indexing, you can use slice object. Slice object would be name of the sequence, and then we have these three parameters again: start, stop, and step. Now what is it going to return? If you are using slice function, it's going to return a slice object. And if you are going to use slice object, like I said, this is going to be the name of the sequence. It's going to return subsequence that you are hoping to get. Okay, now let's look at the syntax. Slice, if you are using function, we have start, stop, and step. Start is optional. Step size, okay, I shouldn't have written step size. Usually we call it step size because it kind of depicts the length, but so it's step, right? Start and step are optional. Stop is mandatory, and it is also excluded. What I mean by that is, if start is, let's say, 0, okay, so if you do not, like I said, start and step are optional. So if you do not provide start and step, by default value of start is going to be 0, because that's where a sequence actually starts. A sequence starts from like the index. Okay, so by default value is going to be 0 for start, and for step it's going to be 1. So you're going to access all the elements of the sequence, going to you're traversing the list. And so these are by default values. Stop is where you want to stop. So for example, if I start from 0 and then I want to stop at, let's say, 4, so 0 1 2 3 4, so at this point 5 will be excluded. You have to provide stop value for stop. That's how you'll get to know where you want to stop. And the index value at that index, at stop index, will be excluded. Okay, you are not going to include it in subsequence. That makes sense. And if you have any doubt, you can always ask, okay, in the comments. And moving on to indexing, slice in the form of index. Start, stop and step. In this case, start is mandatory. Stop and step, you can skip them. If you do not provide stop, it's automatically going to pick find the length of the sequence and move on, keep moving on to the next element and the next element, and then when it finds the final element, it will automatically stop. And step in this case again is going to be 1, and you have to provide the value of start though. Okay, it's mandatory and it's included. So when you provide the value of start, it's not going to exclude it. It will be included. Okay, now let's move on to a program. Okay, so first I'm going to take an example. This is a tuple with 7 values, right? It's a tuple. Okay, first we're gonna use function slice function. Okay, so as I told, it returns slice object, and if you've already watched previous videos about reversed and join function, in the reversed I believe I mentioned if a function is returning an object, to make it work with the program to access the values, you need to sort of catch or save that object, right? So I'm going to use another variable b, and we're going to apply slice function. So let's say I'm going to start from 1, stop at 7, and then 2. Okay, 2 is going to be the step. Right? Now, how do you access the slice? B is what? An object, right? So how do you access the slice? You can use the name of the sequence, and in a way, if you wanted to, so for example, if you are not working with slices, to access any value, a value given here, you will be using name of the sequence and then brackets, square brackets, and then you'll provide an index, right? Wait a minute, let me show you. So let's say I want to access second value of this tuple. So I can write A1, right? 0 1. This is index 0, index 1, so A1, right? In this case, instead of trying to access one value, I'm trying to access a slice. So where is that slice? At B. So instead of providing the index, I'm going to provide this slice variable. Okay, 246, right? And you can also check the type of B. It belongs to class slice. Okay, now I also told you that start, stop and step are keywords. So to access the value of these keywords, you can use b dot start 1, right, b dot step 2 and b dot stop 7. So these are keywords. You can use the name of the object and you can access them. Okay, now let's use slicing. So for slicing, I'm going to start with 0, stop is going to be, let's say 10, and then step is 2. All right, let's see the value. It's 1, 3, 5, 7. So first of all, A0, I told you it's going to include the value. So A0 would be 1, right? Then step is 2. So in a way, if I could show you, yeah, step is 2. So A0. Now for the next value, step meaning you need to increment the index by 2. So 0 plus 2 would be 2. So next value would be A2. So A2 is 3, right? Now another, you are again going to add 2. So A2 plus 2, A4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 5, right? Now 4 plus 2 is 6, so it's going to be 7, right? That's how it works. I hope you were able to understand. I can show you how it goes. Okay, I'm gonna so this is your tuple, right? And this is what we're trying to access, this slice. Okay, now see how it works. So first we have A0, that's 1, right? Then it's 0 plus 2, so A2 equals to 3, right? Then A2 plus 2, because 2 is step, it's the increment that we need to have. So A4 will be 5. Then we have A4 plus 2, that is A6, and A6 is 7, right? And then we don't have more values. Okay, this is how it works. Yeah, okay, all right. What else? So we have, and let's say if I go like this, 0, 10, it's going to provide all the values, because like I said, stop and step are not mandatory. 10 is stop value, by default step would be 1. Okay, all right. So now let's move on to strings. Okay, so let's say I have this string here. It says how are you today, let's say. Okay, now I'm going to use slicing, same, 0, 10, 2. Okay, so this is 0th element, H, then 2, so 0, 1, 2, W. Then we have 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, A, then 4 plus 2, 6, 5, 6, then 6 plus 2, 8, 7, 8, right, and 9, 10. So it's going to exclude it. It's going to take values till y only. Okay, and because see, stop is going to be excluded, right? Remember that. I did not mention it here, but stop is going to be excluded. All right. Okay, so just a minute. This is 0. Yeah. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 8. Yeah. 9 and 10. Right. So we are excluding 10. Yeah. And then I also want to take one example with negative slicing. So if you are starting from the beginning, from the left hand side, index will start with 0, and if you are starting from the right hand side, index will start from -1. Okay, so for example, this is y. Okay, and so you can also have values like, let's say, -1, 5, and -2. So it will start from this side y, and it's going to go till 5. So fifth value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till r. Okay, so -1, a -1 is y, then -1, -2, -3. So -1, -2, -3 is d, then -3, -2, -5. So 3, 4, 5, it's t. After t we have space, so like 5, 6, 7, u, 8, 9, y, and then 10, 11, space and e. Okay, so this is how it works, and since we don't want to exceed 5th index value, so it will stop here. Okay, another example could be, okay, we haven't used slice function, so let's see that. So again we have this string strt, and for slicing b equals to, again we are going to use slice function. So let's say 2, 9, 1. Okay, now again, if I had to access the element, I would be using this. So I'm going to print the value here. B, that's what I want to pick, right? So it's going to pick that one slice. Okay, and what else? Yes, you can also use slicing for to find the reverse of a string. So for example, if we have hello, right, and you want to find reverse of this string, you can start from the right hand side. So that would mean start is -1, and then I don't know where we want to, head to, and I told you I don't know where we are trying to head out. I mean, we are not sure about the last index, and I told you these are stop and step, they are optional, right? So yeah, I'm going to skip this one, and let's, okay, I'm going to give -1 here. So it says right? The reverse of the string. And what else? So we also have, okay, right. So if you're using slice function, start and step are not mandatory, only stop is mandatory. What I mean by that, I want to clear this too. So for example, I'm going to take this example only. So let's say I want to use slice function. Now I'm not going to use start and step. I'm only going to provide one value, and since this is a slice function, it automatically knows that this is stop value. This is value for stop, because start and step are not mandatory. So unless you actually provide a value before stop and with a comma, it's going to automatically assume that this is value for the stop, right? And how do I know that this is value for the stop? So print s b, right? It says h e. So start, by default start is 0, step is 1, so it starts from S0, S1, HE, and then 2 is the stop. So it's not going to take that value, excluded, right? And I hope it is clear, because this is, see, this is, when I say slice 2, this is the name of the function. If you provide something like this, so name of the string and then value for the index S2, it's going to provide you L. Okay, so I hope this is clear, and if you have any doubt, feel free to ask. I hope this was helpful. If it was, give this video a like, and your suggestions, your feedback is always welcome. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care.